Mr. Inan, how are you, my friend?
I'm good, my friend. How are you?
Good, man, good. I got a question for you.
Yes, what is it?
There's a question going around from males, mainly on the gaming sector and mainly on TikTok as well. Would you do the first 99% of a blowjob or the last 1%, man?
So
think about, would you do all the sucking and mucking and everything that's involved, or would you take care of the load?
I guess I'd want to reach climax.
So you want to...
Isn't that the majority of the answer? Who's going to get done 99% but not climax?
No, but you're getting cummed on.
What do you mean?
It's you that's doing this.
Oh.
Would you do the first 99% of a blowjob or the last 1%?
Oh, fuck.
So think about it like this.
Well, it depends. What's the time? What's the length of time?
You know what? I'll give you a bit. Say it's a minute,
Oh
cuz.
my
A minute. Would you want the first 60 seconds or the last 10 seconds? Oh, I love this question. It made me laugh so
What's
much
the
on TikTok.
circumstance? Like, am I taking the load as well, or like am I just climaxing?
The 1% is taking the load, cuz.
I don't know. I'm so confused right now.
It's like, I like it. I like the beginning part, but I don't like the end. Nah. It's just a question that I found really funny, man.
I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know. Obviously,
I'm
less
pretty
time. I'll take the one with less time.
Oh, you're funny.
You could have at least said if someone put a gun to your head and said, "Look, what are you gonna do?"
Nah, cuz voluntarily, you actually put your hand up for it and everything.
Was there anyone that answered 99%?
Yeah, man. So many people are like, you know what? I don't want to deal with the end part of it, and then sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. It crossed my mind. I was like, "Am I gonna deal with the juice or?"
So when you women think that us men are doing something stupid, this is what we're really thinking about. So just keep that in mind.
That's funny.
There's another story that's making headlines across the world at the moment, which is the Lil Nas X satanic Nike shoes, or supposedly Nike shoes now. So like that, I don't know how you. To be honest, you know what it is? It's a great marketing deploy. That's what it is.
It is, but
Like, yeah, they fucked. I don't think they fucked up. I reckon they did it intentionally.
yeah, of course they didn't intentionally, but because like they're gonna get sued up the ass. Like, I don't know what.
But now everyone knows who.
Like,
Lil
why
Nas
the
is.
Nike tick? Why the Nike tick? I don't understand. Like, maybe obviously it was for publicity, but
100% publicity.
now like surely someone apart in that crew was like, guys, this is copyright issue. Like, we can't do this because it's not our brand. We need to pay them, or we need to do. I'm sure Nike would have been like, yeah, we're fucking over. Let's go. But I don't know. Maybe they just didn't want to pay him, or they didn't want to give half the profits of the shoes to them. You know, I don't know. I don't know what the wisdom behind the shoes are, but I mean, for anyone that doesn't know, from what I understand, he's designed shoes. They're
Pretty much, but they're satanic shoes.
yeah,
literally.
much. They've incorporated all the 666 numbers. They've put a point or a drop of blood
Yeah.
in the sole of the shoe. I mean, that's if that's not black magic, I don't know what it is. I mean, like, what are they trying to
They
do?
got the devil symbol as so you know when you put on
Yeah.
top of the shoe, they got the devil,
the
pentagon or pentagram or whatever.
Pentagram,
it is. That's it. And then
It's a nice shoe. I'm not gonna lie. Being a sneakerhead myself, like I'm looking at it, it's definitely my color coding, the red and the red.
I love red and black.
I love red and black
Yeah.
too. Like, you can't beat it, but I don't know.
Even the box. So if you open I don't know if you've seen it. The box comes with the bottom part is like hell, where like people are reaching out to the shoe sort of thing, and it's got a biblical quote when you open it, which is I think it was from Luke off the top of my head, and it was I saw the devil fall down like it was lightning, or something along those lines.
Bro, it's amazing how these guys are quoting like Bible references, and I know like in the Christian Bible they I'm sure hell is nothing to be joking about if you truly believe in the book. But it's like whether it's making a mockery or whether they just don't care and it's just something funny or it's something controversial. I don't know. Like, I mean, obviously they must have made a lot of money considering that the one pair cost $1,000. But
retail was $1,000.
$1,000.
Now, if Nike's coming out and saying ban the shoe, burn the shoe. You got to get
destroy
rid
the shoe. Yeah.
that price is gonna skyrocket.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. Yeah,
absolutely
exactly.
skyrocket.
Supply and demand. I mean, I'm sure there was only so much shoes that
Yeah, it was
sold.
limited time.
Exactly. So it's like if you got one, you're cheering. I'm sure it's doubled up. You can sell it for $5,000 easy.
I reckon more. You hold on to that, man.
Yeah,
That's-
hold on to that. Yeah, exactly. Like, bro, I'm kind of spewing myself. I probably would have bought it just to get, just to make some money. Off it.
I don't even know if they were available in Australia,
Yeah,
but
but you know
in
what I'm
America
saying,
they
like-
went flying. I don't see. I don't understand. Me, I'm not a sneakerhead probably as much as you are, so I don't really understand the whole the facade. Oh, facade's probably the wrong word, but the popularity behind, especially used shoes. I've never understood that.
What?
The whole used shoes becoming more popular. I get it,
Supply and demand. Supply and demand.
but supply and demand can only come to a point where where does the demand for an old shoe come
Because
from?
there's so much, so there's so less the supply of those shoes. So there's not much of those. Like for instance, I'll give an example.
This should take that because obviously this shoe, it's working off its publicity and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Say, like I get probably Air Jordans.
Yeah.
I get that, but I can go to Foot Locker and buy Air Jordans.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, what's the difference between
But see-
that shoe and the one that's actually worth something?
There's
That's where my
so
thing is.
little in numbers. They made a certain amount. Obviously, like if you look at the I don't know, the process of how these luxury brands go about like pricing with their pricing strategies. The less you make, the more of a cost you put onto that product, and which is the same. Jordan is a universal shoe brand, but there's obviously divisions within that brand. Like there's an Air Jordan 1, there's an Air Jordan this, there's an Air Jordan that. Like I'm not particular with the Air Jordans, but like they make like 500 and then it's just sold like that once they put them up online. So, you know, obviously you've got 500 shoes and then you've got, I don't know, you've got 500,000 people wanting to buy those shoes. Cause so it's like, I'm sure you can find 50 out of those 500,000 to pay a stupid amount for those shoes. Hence why, you know, the reselling aspect of sneakers is so big at the time. Like I'm a bit of a reseller myself. Not so much. Like, in fact, I despise resellers because I want shoes and they buy it and then I've got to pay an extra amount because it's sold out.
Oh,
Yeah, you know what I mean? But I only sell shoes because I got over the shoe and I know someone's out. I know there's someone out there that's willing to pay a decent price for the shoe and me go buy another pair of shoes, you know, that I like. That's the whole basis of me. But these Lil Nas X shoes, I don't know. Like, to be honest, I don't like Lil Nas X. I don't even know his songs besides that bullshit one with the country guy, which was a shit song, by the way, in my personal opinion.
well, he's trending on TikTok at the moment because everyone's making fun of him of going to hell.
Yeah, well, there's a few TikTok videos out that I haven't seen, but it'll be interesting to find out. I don't know what the fascination with hell or being devil or these whole symbolism of the I don't know, devil or hell is with these guys. Like I'm like sure these guys know like when we.
So what I reckon it is, and I've actually noticed this more trending nowadays as well, which is like I get it. If you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in higher power, if you believe in science, etc., fair enough. I'm only tackling this on the basis of people who do believe it and who have their own view based on what's coming after, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Satanism is on the rise.
it is on the rise.
Major. Like what I've started to notice, Satanism and worshipping, you know, another deity, if that makes sense. That's not the standard religious, say Christianity, Judaism, Islam and stuff, Buddhism, if you want to chuck them in as well. I've noticed that the trend is now more, it's coming up now. Like there was a school in America, and I remember just briefly reading the article. They said, because I think it's, people can quote me on this, so can correct me on this one. In America, the prayer for the Lord is something like standard across some schools in America.
Yeah.
Okay, a school came out and said you can't do the prayer you can't do any prayers unless it's for Aztec gods. Because a school came out and said this.
In America?
In America. One school, yeah. So Aztec, I don't know. Maybe the principal's fucking doing something else. So you can see like it's slowly starting to maybe get there and stuff like that. But what I reckon, trying to connect it back to what you said regarding, say, Satanism, which is some Satanists actually don't worship Satan. That's the irony.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But for the ones that do, I think their concept is if they if they believe it and they follow it, it's not the repercussions that probably we would think of. Does that make sense?
Probably they're not even aware of it.
That I don't think it's more aware. I think it's more from their understanding is as irony, as like weird as this sounds, I'd rather be in hell with the devil than in heaven with God. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like the devil will take care of me. Like that type of context.
Yeah, but they don't understand he was the biggest deceiver.
Yeah, and
going back in the books, all the books, I'm sure it's all there.
Yeah.
Because like I'm not gonna say just because I'm Muslim, I'm not gonna say it's in the Quran or it's in the it's in the Bible too.
Across the 3 Abrahamic religions.
Yeah, exactly. It's there. I mean, they have a fair understanding as to what this is about. But in my personal opinion, I mean, with the rise of technology, I mean, I feel like we as people are getting, because we're how can I say? Because we're so not numb, but we go through
different phases of life.
Yeah. So we're changing constantly to new things because we're getting bored of the old stuff. Like we know what the rules are. We know what's not to be done, what's to be done. But I think in this day and age, especially like with the rise of like the pornography epidemic and whatnot, like for instance, people like now, like you see these footballers, for instance, as an example, I'll just throw it out. Vile acts, like now they've wrecked the sacred act of love between two people, like a male and a female. Now it's just got to be pure lust. It just goes in there like you got to treat the girl like shit, or you got to do something to record it. You know what I mean? Like, bro, I've seen how many videos of these football players.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm just giving an example. I'm not trying to shit on the football players, but I'll go back to people. I'll be more broad. I think we're getting maybe desensitized, if that makes sense, and we're moving on to things that are not that we're not used to, or like that's different. That's a change. You know what I mean? Am I coming on?
I know what you're trying to say, because it also, like, I'll try to link it to something else which also connects to what you're saying as well, which is if you look at the religions and you look at, say, God, for example, yeah, and you look at the rules that has been brought across, say, the 3 Abrahamic religions, it's not fun. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
it's not
exactly
fun.
Right. It isn't
compared to what they believe, as in like what the devil is trying to bring you to. Does that make sense? So it's like Islam, for example. Do you go do not drink or drink? While Christianity is more do this rather than that.
Exactly.
And it's more like people are coming to a stage where it's like some people are slowly starting to accept God has abandoned me. Yeah. Some people have it, where so much bad happens in someone's life. I don't blame
them. Like, I've been guilty of that thought here and there, but I mean, obviously through knowledge, you have a better understanding. If that obviously, knowledge is power. That quote, like, I don't think many people understand how
100%
how important knowledge is, in the sense that, like, yes, I've been in those shoes where it's like, why is it like this, or why has God done this to me, or why is this, but it was maybe an outlook where it was like, maybe I got to try something. And once you start reading, or once you start viewing something, or you start gaining certain knowledge, you're like, okay, that makes sense. Okay, it makes me a better person, or certain things like that. But I mean, I think the world, like you said, the best, bro. We just, like, me personally, I'll put myself an example. Family man, I try to be as religious as possible. I'm not perfect, but I want to go out and drink. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. I don't do it, of course, but I want to. Bro, every Saturday around 3-4 p.m. once the sun starts going out, I'm still stuck in my little youth days before I got married, and it was like, all right, hectic. What are the boys doing? What are we doing tonight? We're gonna get dressed,
Apex.
You know what I mean? But it's like I'm still guilty of that, and I don't blame people. I'm not saying these people are stupid or whatnot. Like, bro, everyone each to their own. But I think we're just running out of things to do, and it's like, oh, the devil, I haven't looked in that. Oh, that's attractive. Oh, that's, I'll look into that. Oh, yeah, that's good. Oh, that's fun. Oh, that's different. Oh, I had so much fun doing that, and then they start moving on to other stupid shit, and then it just gets worse and worse, and then you just become these animals, if that makes sense. Yeah. Like, I don't know, man. Yeah. I don't know, like Lil Nas X, whatever his objective is in these shoes. I mean, obviously, it's probably majority of it is all financially. He's probably made a
100%
hectic amount of money, but Now he's probably going to get sued up the ass, or the company that helped him do it was like MCH or MSCHF.
Mischief.
Mischief, is it? Okay, fair enough. That's how old I am. Mischief.
Oh, it's like MSCHF.
Mischief, come on,
They
man.
sound like-
MSCHF. Oh, fuck it. Oh, but yeah, I don't know, bro.
You know what I reckon that is? It's publicity, man. Because think about it. If you're dragging like a conglomerate like Nike, again, you can probably do a conspiracy out of this as well, which is Nike. I don't think anyone's that stupid to put a Nike symbol on it. Do you know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm kind of like
So
bamboozled.
So I reckon Nike's come out and they said, look, we're not endorsing this.
Yeah.
Okay. If you receive backlash, we're gonna deny it. You know what it reminds me of? You know, like you watch some CIA movies and shit like that. They're like, if you say that we sent you, we're gonna deny it.
Yeah.
And I reckon because it took Nike a bit to come out and say, this wasn't us. Do you know what I mean? Like if I did that shoe and I'm selling 100, let's say 1,000 copies of this shoe, and I never approached Nike, is on my ass like this,
like that. Yeah. Like, there's no mucking around with Nike, cuz what are they? They're $1 billion company, aren't they?
Probably more.
Yeah, probably more. But, bro, see, like, I didn't even think of that. Because there's probably a mad conspiracy going on. Like, Nike said, yep, we're with you. Like Lil Nas X, for a rapper of his magnitude, I'm sure he's not a stupid person. I'm sure he realized the problem this created by putting another brand's logo on his shoes. Without them knowing,
to Satan, like Satan,
and it's connected to something controversial or something that's not agreed upon by the majority of people in the world. I think it's a great publicity stunt if it was him and it was just him. But now that you mentioned Nike saying, you know what, if it goes good, we're with you.
If it goes good, version 2,
CIA tactics, black flag.
We'll release the devil one, but don't worry, we'll release the God version of it. You know, the white with
angel
blue.
version.
Yeah, the white with blue, and you know, the next verse is different.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, see, maybe that's what he's come up with now. But then I doubt it. I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. These companies, come on.
Like I think Lil Nas X, if I'm not mistaken, he's an homosexual. So, I mean, he's already up there. So, like, obviously, whether he quotes Bible verses or puts devil's things, he probably doesn't believe it in it. Like, I'm sure his morals aren't there to begin with. But I mean, in terms of a business decision or like a business move, it was excellent.
for publicity, for marketing, for business, you know what? Mischief is probably a company that, you know, they're not going to give a fuck. The funds are probably gone somewhere else already. You know, some bank account in the Cayman Islands, and then that way they're looking at it and going, you know what? Even if we get sued, we're sweet.
It doesn't say how many shoes he sold or how many were available.
If I had a guess, probably 666, maybe 1,000.
Yeah,
I don't know.
600.
Probably around that top one.
But yeah, from the articles that I've read, there's nothing naming how many he sold. They say they sold out, but they don't name it. They don't put a number down. But
I don't think it'll be the last time we see these types of shoes. You had a dilemma in the post office.
Yeah, I was explaining to you earlier, but I'll explain again. For work, I mean, obviously, I do a bit of courier work here and there. I went to the post office as an employer for Australia, as employee for Australia Post, and it was a big line. And all I had to do was give this box because the individual that I had to deliver that box to wasn't at home. So I was carded. Anyways, I'm usually the nicer guy. Usually the drivers just rock up to the front and go, here you go, let me scan it. So we've transferred on the system. It shows that it's been transferred from my hand to the post office, okay, which makes tracking easy. Anyways, this lady was just taking her time. Like, she had nothing left. She was just arguing. She was pleading ignorance. So some I didn't get the whole dilemma, but she was going, I've been like the standard like argument.
The standard response.
Response was like, oh, I've been doing this for 2 years and now it's an issue, which I've been guilty of for many times. You know, and then as soon as I heard that, I was like, all right, she's just wasting time now. She's just fucking being stubborn and she's not fucking off. So then this bloke comes into the line, nice Asian guy, walks up and he's like, bro, he goes, what's this line? Like, you know, it was nice and friendly. And I just got the shits. I was already annoyed because I was waiting. I was like, oh, I've got a job to do. I can't sit in the line and watch this lady. Like, mind you, she was very loud, so we could hear exactly what she was saying. Anyways, me being the fat mouth that I am, like, she had finished up and I didn't realize because I was looking at this guy. I turned my face. And he's like, oh, I guess what's this line? I'm like, if people, you know, if people weren't doing shit like this, I go, we wouldn't be waiting in this massive line. And as I said that, she walked past me. And so I thought, the radar went off and I was like, all right. Oh, so hectic. She didn't hear, she walked off. Oh, I missed that one. Turned around and then I heard, excuse me. I was like, did you just swear at me? Sorry. And I'm like, and I went, oh shit, she did. I'm like, fuck, how am I going to do this now? Like, it's a lady. What do I want to do? Argue with a lady. I turned around and I was already pissed off. I was annoyed. And I went, I can't remember exactly what I said first, but I just turned around with an attitude and I went, I go, excuse me? I was very, very civilized, which is not naturally me. I usually just jump up. What the fuck? I was like, excuse me, I beg your pardon. And she's like, did you just swear at me? She's like, you swore at me. I'm like, okay, first, what did I say? That's right, I didn't tell you. I go, what did I say? And she's like, I don't know, but you swore at me. You said something shit. And then I went, okay, say I did say something to you. I go, what's going to happen now? I go, what are you going to do? I go, well, what are we going to do here now? I go, you've turned around, you've made a scene. I go, what are we going to do? I added a bit of words. That wasn't exactly what I said, but just to get the premise as to what the situation was like. She looked at me blank, and I caught her off guard. She went, like, in her mind, she was like, fuck, what am I going to do? Like, what is she going to do? Is she going to hit me or something? Or like, she's going to call the police? Because I was like, okay, exactly. I go, like, nothing's going to happen to this. So why are you bothering with me? I go, please. I go, move on. So I turned around. And she kept saying something. I was like, I can't remember. A bit of adrenaline was kicking in. I'm like, fuck. Everyone was looking. Post office lady came out she came out from the counter and she was like, all right, guys, please don't argue. And I could see the Asian guy that I was talking to laughing. I know, because I got a bit of a zinger on her. I questioned her own thought. Because, you get those. She was a white lady. She was a bit big. And she was very loud. So you can just get the idea that she was one of those ladies that doesn't put up with shit, or if she's got a problem, she makes everyone aware that she's got a problem.
She's a Karen.
She's a massive... Yeah, exactly. So you can name this...
Karen Exhibit
the Karen. But I was like, exactly. Anyways, I turned around and in my mind, I'm going, fucking Karen. Like, I go, what did you get out of this? I go, you embarrassed yourself. I go, she was probably annoyed with whatever she was dealing with the post office because she was ranting on. And I was just like, bro, like, I'm trying to do my job here. And finally, when I got up there, I apologized to the lady. She's like, no, you don't need to be sorry. She was very rude. And I was like, you know what? Finally, there's someone on my side because I'm usually the rude one, But I'm like, she was the rude one. So I was happy about that. But it was a bit of ordeal. It was a funny ordeal at the time. But it's good to get one back on the white people, So,
Inan 1, Karen's 0 at the moment.
But it's like, what are you going to do? Like, what are you going to achieve by questioning me?
It's true. I get what
I mean? Like, what was the purpose? I don't understand. It was honestly a genuine question. Like, what were you achieving? What were you going to gain from questioning me? Like, what were you going to hit me?
I think maybe she was trying to...
Like, what was I going to turn around and go, oh, no, sorry, love. Oh, I didn't mean it. Like, sorry. Was I supposed to, like, crumble and go, I didn't mean to because you spoke, you spoke your mind. Get out of here, man. This goes out to all the other Karens I want to fuck for me. Fuck yous too. No. But it pissed me off, man. It was very annoying.
I reckon she was trying to get the whole... where you did crumble, where it's like, oh no, she heard me. Oh no, I'm sorry. It's like, you better be sorry. You know what I mean? Like, sort of mentality.
I doubled down on the antics. I was like, I'm just glad at the moment, I'm always, how when you argue with someone, like after the argument, you walked off, now you're thinking with a clear head, and then you're coming up with these whammies. You're like, bro, I could have fucked on this, or I could have said this, I could have said that to piss her off, I could have said that to embarrass her. But I'm like, no need to. Like, I came out good. I was quick on my feet, and I came up with a good thing. I didn't escalate the situation. Like, I
didn't shink you to the face.
Obviously, nothing physical is gonna happen unless she hit me or something. Yeah. But even then, like, even if she hit me, I just would have been like, all right, so fuck, I'm gonna charge you. I'm gonna go get the coppers. I'm gonna stitch you out. Like, but it was funny. It was funny. It's like, I'm just glad I got one back on those. You know how ladies, just because they're a lady now in this day and age, they think they're allowed to talk shit.
I wouldn't say lady. I think it's just more along the lines of where you got those people who think their views are entitled, like they have an entitlement over you.
Yeah, I think that's another issue in today's society.
100%.
Everyone's entitled to an opinion.
Call them Karens and Kevins.
Yeah. But like, I'm very opinionated. Let's be honest. But I'm not a soldier where I'm like, I've got to fight for that opinion. I'll make my opinion. If you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it. Yeah. So be it.
No, but, I agree with you.
She must be the friggin' life of the party at parties or something.
She's like, no, you can't put the straw into the Coke like that. You can't do that. The pen cap needs to go on the pen after you use it.
You need to use a knife and fork while you eat.
You got to work from outside in. Okay, guys.
It was a bit of a win.
I'm glad you got your
little win.
your first ever win against the Karen.
It's not my first. Usually, bro, if I'm in the wrong, I always apologize. Bro, I don't find it hard to admit that I'm in the wrong, or if I've done something wrong, I apologize. I can be very like from this podcast outside, people looking in, they can say, this guy's a bit of a dickhead, and I am. I'll admit that. And I'm not just saying that to be modest. I am. You can ask my wife; she'll say the same thing.
But I married a dickhead.
But if I believe I'm in the wrong, I don't find it hard to apologize. I haven't in the past. I've done it numerous times. It's not if anything, it's not a sign of weakness. It's more of a sign of strength, in my opinion. That's what I say. That's what I say to make myself feel better.
When I go to sleep, I tell myself that it makes me feel
exactly, better. You know, and it makes me happy. I can sleep at night.
No, I'm glad you got the win, man. And it was nice catching up with you.
Yes, it was.
Enjoy a long weekend.
Thank you very much. Yes.
We hope to have Emin back hopefully next week, maybe. But
yeah, he's good with his daughter. He couldn't come on. He was planning on coming on, but yeah, the little one's not.
I think you just need to get your priorities straight. Man.
I know, man.
Come on, man. I was back after a week, bro. Go on, man.
Come on, bro. You can't let him brag like this. What's going on here?
Nice. Congratulations to him again, man. All right, Inan. I will see you next week, hopefully.
Yep.
All right, done.
See you guys.